Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Defining Discipline podcast. I'm your host, Scott. Defining discipline is a lifestyle, a mentality, and a brand. And within this podcast, we're going to focus on self-improvement as you follow along with me on my journey. We'll also hear from special guests of all walks of life on this podcast and their remarkable journeys that led them to where they are today. Today is day 47. I challenged myself to run 365 days out of the year this year, this being my second year running. It's a bit of a step up from last year when I only ran 176, and I also challenged myself to run 1,250 miles this year, which is another step up from my first year running of being able to do 1,000 miles. This year I also challenged myself to run a 50K in June, and that is a trail race, and I also challenged myself to better my time in my marathon this year at the Detroit Free Press Marathon. Last year they canceled it, but I still ran one by myself, and an unofficial timed one that I clocked in at 5 hours and 30 minutes. I'm trying to beat that time at my 50K, and I'm trying to, I don't know how realistic it is, but I would love to beat 4 hours in the actual marathon. Other than that, though, that being said, the month of January last month, I decided I'm going to have to run 100 miles every month at least in order to hit my yearly goal that I've had this year. So last month, I decided to dedicate every month to a certain fundraiser. Last month's fundraiser was the American Cancer Society, where we raised $380. This month's fundraiser for the month of February is the Detroit Black Community Food Security Network. And what they do is they work to build self-reliance, food security, and justice in Detroit's black community by influencing public policy, engaging in urban agriculture, promoting healthy eating, encourage cooperative buying, and directing youth towards careers in food-related fields. This podcast being a podcast that is focusing on trying to live a healthy, positive lifestyle, not just with exercise, but also with trying to have a healthier diet. I thought this would be a perfect fundraiser to donate money for, especially it being a local one for around Detroit, and it being February, Black History Month. I thought, why not try to help out this cause? So if you guys can donate any money, that would be very well appreciated. The fundraiser is going through my personal Facebook page, where you can make donations there. All the donations go directly to the fundraiser. Nothing goes to Facebook, and nothing goes to me. It all goes to the fundraiser, so that's a cool thing. So far, I think I've donated $40. That's all that's been made so far. So if you can donate, awesome. If you can't, I get it. Times are tough, but please at least share it so other people can see it, and maybe they will be able to donate and help out. Other than that, at the beginning of February, on February 2nd, it was episode 33, which was called Divinity, and based off that, the number 33 is, it has this religious kind of tie to it. So I decided to do a God Bod challenge where I run 33 miles per week for 33 days straight while doing 33 push-ups and 33 sit-ups every single day. And I am currently on day 15 of push-ups and sit-ups, and day 15 in general out of all of this. I have averaged 33 miles per week the last 2 weeks. Now I got 3 more weeks to hit that. Like I said, I'm on day 15 of push-ups and sit-ups. I'm going to do them right after this episode and attach it to the end of this video so you guys can see that. If you're just listening along, I will not attach it because you don't want to hear the grunts and the push-ups with no actual talking in between. So if you want to visualize it, you'll have to come watch the YouTube video. Other than that, like I said, we are trying to do 33 days straight of push-ups, sit-ups while running 33 miles per week. It is taking its toll on my body. My legs are getting a little beat up, a little sore. I went out there today and put in some mileage. I'll give you an update of that before we get into today's actual episode. So today I just went out and put 1.5 in, but last night it snowed. We got about 8 to 9 inches, and then it snowed the day before, and a lot of people didn't shovel, including myself. So I was running out there, and it was pretty much up to my knees at certain spots. So I only put 1.5 in, but I did. It was a pretty good pace, honestly. 10, 18 per mile a pace, and 1.6 miles in the snow. So you can't complain about that. But with that, that put me at 5.2 miles for this week. So I got 27.7 to go for the week to hit the God Bod Challenge. For the month, I am at 72.2, so I'm not too far from hitting 100. I'm going to probably do that within, right probably at the end of this week, honestly. I'm trying to average 33, so I'll be at 99. Maybe I'll go a little bit over with the points, the point whatever. Maybe it'll make me be able to hit 100 on Sunday. And then for the year, I am currently at 178.6. So I have 1,071.3 left to go for the year. All that being said, guys, let's kind of get into today's episode. Today is day 47. I don't want to keep you guys too long, but this is something that I think is key, especially something this is a discipline in itself. And this is something that we have to do with everything. I have to even try to do it with my running, which I kind of did today. So we'll talk about that. Today's theme for today's episode 47, is going to be moderation. Moderation is something that a lot of us, we think about, but we don't always, we put it in the back of our minds and we kind of just forget about it. At least that's what I think I do. But it's something that is key with everything. I think everything is fine as long as you have it in moderation. You don't want to do something too much, excess, because once you start doing stuff like that, you're only really, hurting yourself. It's kind of stuff like that when you just overly do something that causes certain problems. For instance, running, I told you something about moderation today with me. I got out there, it was snowy, but it was when I got out there, it was super bright, super sunny. I actually only wore this, no shirt under it. I wore sweats, no leggings under it, and I'm not even gonna lie, I didn't even wear underwear. Okay, I had socks on and my shoes on, and I'm running in knee-deep snow, and I'm sweating like hard. Okay, and I'm out there, and I'm thinking this is actually a really beautiful day, and I would love to add just another 5K in. Like I would love to do it, and then that's less miles I got to do later this week. But then in my head, I knew how sore my body felt before I got out there this morning. I knew how bad my ankle and my right leg was starting to hurt, and my calves and kind of in my shins. And I'm thinking, do I really want to just continue to overwork it? Or because I'm in this for the long run, I can't just, I had to really think about this. I had to moderate my miles today. I really wanted to do that 5K and push it out in the snow, because it was actually a very beautiful day and the snow wasn't bad. It was a really light snow. My legs just churned right through it. It wasn't like a heavy snow where I got buried in it. Some parts they got really deep where it was a little tiring, but it wasn't heavy. So it was nice, and it's honestly a pretty nice day out, other than it being, super deep in snow. So I had to make sure I moderated myself and moderated how many miles I was going to put in today in order to consist and be able to make, first off, just even this 33 mile per week challenge. It's a big jump from, going from 25, trying to go from 25 miles. Before the end of the year, I had to do the 33 miles per week for 2 months in order to hit my 1,000 yearly goal last year. So I know how hard it is, and my body was beat by the end of it. And then I went down, and I started the new year and never stopped running, but I went down to 25 miles per week, and my body just felt so much better. By the end of the weeks, my body didn't feel beat up, my legs didn't feel heavy or starting to feel like they were breaking down. But that breaking down feeling is also a good thing. We know that, I'm building the muscle, but I had to make sure I moderated myself today in order to preserve myself for every day in this future of this year. So I cut it short. And another thing about moderation is, it's like I said, this is a universal thing for pretty much everything. Your diet. It's not bad to have some junk food and some comfort food every once in a while, as long as it's in moderation. But when you're doing it consistently every day, that's where the problem starts to come in. It's not bad to go out and to drink to have a drink here and there. But when you realize that you have to maybe rely on it every single day, that's when you need to realize moderation. And it's stuff like unhealthy diets or drinking or drugs or whatever it is that you don't moderate. It's usually when you consistently do it like that, that's when kind of like a disease and things start popping up, cancers and all sorts of other things, diabetes, all these things that ail us that we try to avoid, where you don't avoid unless you moderate the things you do every day. And it's hard to do sometimes because it's hard to grasp the concept of what can happen in your future from the decisions you make today. Especially little things like eating something that's unhealthy. You might not really it's hard to take account into how much unhealthy stuff you eat and how that's going to really affect you in a few years. But, the science is there, and we all believe in the science. We all know it, but we try to deny it in our own heads. So same thing with drinking, and same thing with drugs, and same thing with exercise. You can get too much exercise. You can overdo it. Like I said, you can go so hard that you injure yourself out of being able to be active, which is I'm trying not to do. I don't want to. I'm going to do this every day, but I don't want to every day bust out so many miles when I'm not ready for it or my body feels like it's going to break down. I got to make sure I moderate my body and moderate my exercise. I got to moderate my diet. I got to moderate my alcohol intake. I got to moderate my drug intake. Whatever it is that I'm going to be consuming, I got to make sure I moderate it and I balance it out with all the other things that need to happen. That's pretty much it. Is moderation is a key thing in everyone's life, and it's something that we kind of take for granted and we don't ever really think about a lot. So I wanted to make sure I brought it up today, so maybe we could not just talk about it, but to just give it a refresher in your head, and so you can maybe step back and realize, yeah, there are some things that I have been doing too much in excess that I need to cut back on and moderate. And then we also do know, though, because I do want to touch on this subject, that over moderating can be also too bad. You don't want to be a stickler about everything. You don't want to never give yourself those cheat days. You don't ever want to never give yourself those, unhealthy snacks. You don't ever want to not, maybe indulge in a drink every once in a while, or not smoke some weed or whatever your drug. There are certain drugs that I don't personally would touch, but whatever your poison is, maybe it isn't always bad to moderate into some of that stuff, but you have to have control of it. You can't let it have control of you. That is the main thing. So yes, you could be on any side of that spectrum of moderation. Maybe you're the type of person that over moderates everything, where you maybe have no friends because you're never any fun. You never want to have a drink, or you never want to just have a unhealthy snack, or whatever the case is. You are you moderate so much of your life that it dictates who you are, where it's not healthy. And then there's the opposite, where you don't moderate anything, and that is not healthy either. So the whole key here is to find the balance of moderation and to be able to moderate yourself in order to be the best version of yourself possible. I myself, like I said, today I moderated how much miles I was going to get in today. I really wanted to go for more, but I had to hold myself back and stop myself from feeding that mental addiction of being like, just get it in, baby, let's go, let's get some more miles. I had to stop myself to preserve myself for this long journey that I'm taking. Some other moderations that I do is, I've discussed it before, I think, on this podcast. I used to drink, not like heavily or a lot, but I've really cut back on my drinking, almost to the opposite of moderation, where I've almost moderated it completely out of my life. But I don't necessarily know, again, if that's a bad thing. It's not that I don't drink or I wouldn't drink. I just haven't been in any situations where it has been a social situation where I felt like I needed to drink around some people. So it's been a while since I drank. I did drink on Super Bowl Sunday, not much to get drunk or anything like that, but I had a couple drinks with a buddy. We watched the game. I don't even think I really got buzzed. Honestly, I didn't have too much to get buzzed, but I've tried to moderate my alcohol intake. I've tried to moderate how much I smoke. I used to smoke tons and tons and tons of weed. People might think it's counterproductive running, but it helps me with my muscles, and it does help me. But I don't do it like I've done it, like I used to do it. It's not like I'm ripping as much as I used to rip. It's something that I like to dabble in still. And I've been trying to moderate that more. That was something that I had no control over. It was, every waking moment, from when I woke up to when I started coming down, it was always like hit it, feed it, and it got to the point where it wasn't even like I was even feeling the drug anymore. But if I didn't have it, I would feel the fact of not having it. It got so bad where I was mentally addicted to the idea of smoking weed, and just kept doing it and was angry anytime I couldn't have it. So it was a mental addiction that I had, but I've learned to moderate it and I've tried not to abuse it and overuse that. And I've honestly, it's helped me become a better person. It's helped me have more clear thinking, and just to be more on my toes, and me to discuss more. I realize that a lot of my problems of not being able to, talk with strangers a lot, or a lot of my anxiety problems kind of stemmed from me smoking too much weed. That is also, I like to talk about it both ways, of it being, me smoking too much weed being a bad thing, but me also being anxious put me in that mindset of being able to analyze and to really think of things, that's kind of how I got to where I am, is having so much anxiety that I overthought things. And now I'm running every single, I'm running, and I've changed my lifestyle so much, and I kind of owe it to the anxiety that I kept putting myself in. It was kind of like, I don't know, it was almost a workout in itself, trying to discover who I was going to become and how I was going to become it. Yes, it was holding me back, but it also helped me. As it was holding me back, it helped me realize that, and I feel like I got where I am today from the experiences that I've had. So I'm not ashamed of the things that I've done to get where I am. But again, it's all about moderation and trying to control what you intake. Another thing I've been trying that I have to get better at is unhealthy eating. I've been running a lot, and I've been putting in lots of miles, so I've been needing lots of calories. So I've been just trying to put in any kind of calorie I can get. So that was kind of a problem, and I eating lots of Pop-Tarts, lots of sugar, and lots of garbage, just trying to replenish my body with calories. It wasn't necessarily a bad thing, but it's not a good thing. It's something that I have to cut out. I need to eat better sugars and better, maybe fruits and things like that, and try to avoid just the unhealthy garbage, even though sometimes I just need the calories. So that is something that I'm going to need to try to do better in moderation. But other than that, guys, I don't want to keep you too much longer. I'm going to throw the push-ups and sit-ups at the end of this video. But I want to leave you with your daily discipline, and that is, yet again, moderation. Try to moderate some things in your life. The things that you may realize you are doing in excess. Maybe it is video games. Maybe it is drinking, maybe it is your diet, maybe it is the lack of exercise, maybe whatever the case is, learn how to moderate that and to even everything out in your life to make a perfect balance so you can just be with yourself. I'm not claiming to have any answers at all, but I'm just telling you how much better I feel mentally and physically and in general, just from the change of mindset and from moderating certain things in my life that I know were contributing to my depression and my things that weren't making me happy, including video games, alcohol, and all the stuff that we've talked about. So for your daily discipline, try to moderate the things in your life that may be causing you just the unhealthy decisions in your life. Moderate them so they're not as unhealthy. Like I said, it's not always bad to have a cheat day and do a couple things here and there and enjoy yourself, but it's when you're doing it every single day that it becomes a problem. So try to moderate all of that stuff so you can live a better life and be the best version of yourself. Thank you guys so much for listening. This was episode 47. If you can, please go on our Facebook, our Instagram, our YouTube, all of the podcast platforms. Give us a subscribe, a like, and a share. Let people know about it. If there's anyone in your life that you know that may need some inspiration, that has a similar story possibly like me, that that just might need a little kickstart, please share this with them. Maybe this will help them get off their butts. If not, there are plenty of other good speakers out there that are more professional than me, that have done a lot more than me too, so you can maybe even send them their way. But let's try to help people out that may need to get out of these slumps that they're in. So again, thank you so much for listening. This is the Defining Discipline podcast. This was episode 47. I'm going to see you guys tomorrow. Make sure you guys stay disciplined. Get your daily discipline done today so you can feel better about yourself and be a better person. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out. Have a good one. February 16th, 2021. Day 15 of the God Bod Challenge. These are the push-ups and sit-ups for today. Let's get that nice neck crack in right there.
Day 15 in the books.